Hello everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a long time since I posted anything. I sorted out my technology. I finally have a device where I can do a full reading without it cutting out on me. I have not yet figured out how to do it without holding it in my hands, so I do apologize if you're getting a little seasick. That's next on my list to sort out. Technology is a little bit of I guess a phobia of mine, but I'm jumping into it. I'm learning how to solve all these problems, and it's just going to get better and better and better. So bear with me for now. If you want, you can just not look at the video and just hear what I have to say if the camera shake gets a little bit too much. But I wanted to go ahead and do a collective reading, a universal message, especially since we just experienced all that shifting energy from the eclipse. So for most people, for a lot of people, they felt the shift occurred, and now they're just rebalancing. But for many, there's still residual energy. It brought up a lot, and we're going to be clearing that out for at least the next 6 months, if not longer, depending on your own personal time frame. But definitely don't be surprised if this energy is still, playing in your life. It just may not be as intense. So this reading is for the end of August going into the first 2 weeks of September. Of course, with any reading, the energy, energy will influence you based on your own learning, your own lessons, your own opening. So there's no exact time frame. It can be shorter or it could be longer. It just depends on how you integrate the information, what lessons you need to learn, what lessons you need to repeat. In the mystical side, there is no such thing as time or timing. There's just expansion. So we all expand at different rates. So the top row is just what we're experiencing. So what we're going through right now, what we're stepping into. And it's actually really nice. So we have the Empress right here, which is one of my personal guiding tarot cards. And the Empress is all about stepping back and really reveling in your bounty and your abundance, taking stock of all that you have, all of the lusciousness that's around you, stopping and smelling the roses, especially after that eclipse time where a lot of people were stressed out and had anxiety, and there's been a lot of separation, a lot of cleaning out of old energy, getting rid of old friends that weren't serving you. We are now taking a little bit of break, and we're patting ourselves on the back for getting through it, and we're seeing, just the good things in life again, and we're having a clear outlook of the future and what we want to create moving forward. It is coupled with this Hangman energy, and there are two major arcanas, so this is a huge transition that many of us are going through, and it has to do with aligning us with our spiritual mission. We're getting tired of the same old, just getting by, just getting along with the status quo, punching our time clock, just, doing work for work's sake. We are finding that not to be as fulfilling. Even the most practically minded people who just recognize, you have to pay the bills, you have to earn a paycheck, you have to cook the dinner, you have to drive the kids to their sporting events. Even those people who usually embrace that with ease are finding it less fulfilling than they used to. They're starting to ask those deeper spiritual questions about why am I here, and what is my purpose in life, and is there a purpose beyond just these everyday tasks? So the Hangman is showing up to just let you know that, take that time to go within and to contemplate these bigger questions about life. Because you might as well go with the energy of that slow movement. There's a little bit of a slow movement energy. Yes, we're excited to kind of like step forward and step into the future, but things aren't quite happening. We're feeling a little stalled. Well, that's happening for a reason. It's because, Spirit wants us to slow down and go within and be very clear as to why we're doing the things we're doing, and not just being on automatic pilot all the time. Even if we think we know why we're doing certain things, Spirit just wants us to ask the question again and say, well, why do I spend my time doing this, that, and the other thing? And you may get the same answer, but at least you're getting that answer with a deeper sense of clarity, and feeling more empowered by choosing your path. The Queen of Cups, another really good one. It's all about getting in touch with our emotions. So another shift that this eclipse brought is, we're starting to honor and recognize the people in our lives that we care about a little bit deeper. I know a lot of people experienced loss during the shift. A lot of souls decided to exit. They were, just tired. Their soul wanted to rest. They were ready to be angels or guides on the other side. And, through a lot of this loss, many people started reflecting upon the relationships in their life and asking themselves, am I spending more time, working and striving and doing all these things just to kind of, keep bread on the table and just to, kind of fuel my ego or fuel my sense of pride? Or am I spending quality time with the people I really care about and who, aren't going to be on this earth forever? And so many of us are really embracing that, and we're just, we're enjoying the simple moments. We're taking those vacations, with the people we care about. We're forgiving. We may have difficult people in our life and in our families who, we tend to avoid because of that conflict. We're starting to maybe put some of that conflict on the back burner and enjoying the essence of one another and appreciating the lessons that they have brought to our lives and how they've enriched our lives. So a lot of love going on, a lot of love. This last one, the Four of Pentacles, that's kind of like a stingy energy. So, what's just saying is that, again, with all these shifts, and especially if we're asking those deeper questions about how we're spending our time, and for many people, it's led to them deciding to, leave their current jobs, their work, their 9 to 5, their grind, and it's brought up a lot of money fear. I know that that's shown up in my life in a big way as I've transitioning from doing just kind of work to do work and doing more things that I love and enjoy that feed my soul. It's very easy to kind of get tripped up on the money question and feel a sense of lack and, but, just don't let that go into stinginess or greediness or feelings of fear and lack. Still be your generous person. Still, still shine that same sense of abundance onto the world, because it's going to come back to you triple fold, especially now with the energy intensifying. You're going to get it back so much quicker. And so if you're giving out that fear and that stinginess, you're going to get back that fear and stinginess triple fold. And again, this is something that I'm working with. And, sometimes it's just not necessarily about avoiding that feeling of fear and lack. It's about when it comes up, transmuting it, whether it's, writing in a journal or going out for a walk or, researching the law of attraction or being around people who live in abundance and letting that rub off on you, or going out and looking at the simple things in life that are free. Wildflowers always does it for me. Whenever I see wildflowers, I think, oh my goodness, this is just, the world is so full of abundance, and maybe cutting and picking them and bringing them in. You don't have to go and spend a lot of money on a bouquet of flowers. Going for a jog instead of, maybe going to the gym where, you're tempted with, if there's like stuff for sale, a juice bar or snacks, where you feel that lack, you go for a nice walk, it's free. You just throw on your shoes and you get to experience an outdoor gym free of charge. So just doing more things like that, things that give you a sense of abundance, but maybe don't cost a lot of money. Spending time with friends, sharing a meal with a friend, especially if you have someone who's going through fear or lack. Don't give up going out to lunch, but maybe split a meal, split the cost. So continuing to do things that make you feel fulfilled and feel like you're living in this abundant earth is going to help counteract that energy. So moving down to the second row, this is a little bit more about the action. So as we move into the next couple weeks, what we need to be mindful of, what activities we want to engage in. So I'm going to start actually from this side, moving to that, because this, I feel like, is the culmination of it all. So this is the reverse, 5, 6, 7, 8 of cups. So this is, significant about like letting go of bad habits. Again, significant in my life, letting go of things that don't serve you, people who don't serve you. I think that, a great awakening has happened. A lot of people have sort of woken up to, ways in which they numb themselves, distract themselves, relationships that they sort of hold on to out of guilt or obligation rather than personal fulfillment. So we're still cleansing. We're not out of the woods yet. There's still a lot more that needs to be let go of, but we're on that road. We're taking stock of the people in our life and the activities in our life, and we're asking ourselves, is this truly going to get me to where I want to be? Is this going to bring me to my greatest health? Is this going to bring me to my greatest joy? Is this going to, support my career path, what I want to be doing in the world? Is this going to give me all the energy I need? Is this person going to be the most supportive to me moving forward? And if not, really taking a couple steps back, and it doesn't necessarily mean you have to cut them out of your life completely, but, by taking a couple steps back, you can kind of really see if you feel better away from this person or if you feel worse. Other things that you can do is maybe change the environment. So, if there's a person in your life who is your drinking buddy and you're at the bar all the time with this person and you're wondering if, is that person dragging you down and not lifting you up, but you don't want to cut off the friendship because you enjoy it, just change your environment, make a pact the next month. Don't go to the bar. Don't involve alcohol. Go, do something completely different. Go for a walk. Go for a hike. Maybe go to a museum. Change your activity and see if you're still enjoying that person's company without that bad habit or that vice. The chances are it's a healthy relationship. If not, if it's a drag, chances are, it's the alcohol that is the glue of the relationship, and then that vice is actually bringing you down, or like I said, it's distracting you from doing what it is that you really want to do. Another one is gossip. This one is a hard one for women. Men don't usually engage in a lot of gossip, so they're probably not having a problem with this, but for women it's a challenge, because women, they like to communicate and share experiences and process emotions with other women, and it's a very healthy thing to be able to talk about some of the experiences that we are going through and have in life and get advice. But it's a fine line when we cross into that gossip, and if you don't have a healthy friends, will gently call each other out or backpedal. I have a good friend where we'll talk about everything, and once we kind of start to step into gossiping or complaining, we have a great way of naturally stepping back from that, or reminding each other, well, maybe that's not the best thing to say, or that's not the best perspective to have. And we do it in a way that's kind and forgiving and gentle, because we all, as women, we've been sort of conditioned and bred into gossip. So a lot of it is just habit, bad habits. So it's not that, we're bad people, but it's just the way a lot of women have been taught to communicate. So way out of that is, if you have a friend that you're worried that, man, if we don't have our gossip, what do we have? Change the environment. Go do some volunteer work. Volunteer at a soup kitchen or Habitat for Humanity or, Special Olympics. When you're in that kind of environment, you're going to know if that friend is able to have a new type of conversation with you or if they're just relying on the gossip again to be the glue of the relationship. It could be even as some of these toxic relationships can be even as mild as watching TV all the time together or video games, just to keep doing something different and the truth of the relationship will arise. If it's deeper bad habits, if you're getting into heavy drugs, even chronic pot smoking, I know in this day and age it's been more accepted because of the medicinal uses of it. But if it's chronic, that's an addiction. That's a bad habit. It's going to be a distraction. It's going to keep you away from your mission and what you're doing. So, and again, if it's heavy drugs, walk away. Just don't even put up with it. Don't give any leeway to that. Move away, get yourself into therapy or rehab or counseling and some sort of rehabilitation. And then once you're clean and the other person's clean, then test to see if you can revisit the friendship. But it's gonna, no matter what, you're gonna be walking down a very negative pathway that's gonna pull you further from what your spirit wants you to do. So just have a no nonsense rule. You don't have to judge the other person. You don't have to shame them, make them feel bad. But this is a time where you need to start, feeding your own higher self and attaining your goals. Everything is speeding up, so your manifestations are going to happen quicker and quicker and quicker. And if you're engaging in, heavy drugs or heavy drinking or heavy video game watching or gossip or any of these toxic things on a regular basis, you're going to manifest more of that, and it's going to be harder to dig yourself out of it. And so the next one, we come to the Four of Cups. And, so this is about just really being grateful. Going back to that sense of the Empress, that abundance, being grateful for what you have. Especially with this one, if you had to walk away from negative people, I had to, in a big way. And at first it made me, very sad, and I was feeling sorry for myself and, why me? And, why does this keep happening? And, when am I going to have these solid friendships and healthy friendships? And, I was stuck in a lot of negativity. But then I took a step back and realized that, I learned a lot and I'm stronger. This time around I was able to walk away a bit quicker with my head up high. I didn't have to go into knockdown, drag out fights. It didn't have to be drama. It didn't have to be, pain. It was just nope, not what I want. Bye-bye. And so now I'm reveling in the gratitude that now I have this space, I have this freedom, I have all of this room to create healthier habits, healthier relationships. Again, every time something leaves your life, it opens up the space for something new and better to enter your life. And so just really counting those blessings more and more and more. And, the good thing about appreciation and gratitude, it creates a vortex of energy that brings in more and more and more. Four of Swords right here. It's about getting out of our heads. It's reversed. So, we did spend a long period of time just analyzing everything and being in our head and wondering if we're making the right decision. And now, it's time to step out of that. It's just, what feels good. And not what feels good from a sense of these, distractions and these toxic, bad habits and, not the vices, the simple pleasures, but what really feels good on a soul level, what really, lights us up, what gives us the juice of life. When we look down the road at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, 10 years, what is it that we really, want to have for ourselves, you know, beyond just the material things. You know, do we want vitality? Do we want health? You know, do we want quality relationships where we're spending quality time with those people? You know, do we want situations in our life where people are honoring and appreciating and respecting us, and not afraid to share it and show it and shine it? You know, do we want do we want a project fulfilled? You know, are we working on our masterpiece? You know, whether it's a writing or a painting or, you know, music. You know, what is really going to make us look back and feel really proud of ourselves? You know, are we going to be proud of ourselves because, you know, we spent every night in the bar drinking, or that we got to like level 20 in our video game, or, you know, that we were able to, you know, gossip the pants off of the person down the street? Or are we going to feel proud of ourselves for, you know, for being a mentor to maybe some of the young people in our lives, in our family? You know, are we going to feel proud of the scrapbook that we created, you know, or the 5 miles we were able to jog or hike or run, or, you know, the garden we were able to plant? You know, and so start paying attention to what feels good and why. Again, we're asking those questions, the hangman, you know. So if we're doing something and we're feeling really good, say, why are we feeling good? Are we feeling good because this is something that feeds our soul? Are we feeling good because this is distracting me from doing what I really need to do and it's a temporary fix? And you know, just be in that feeling state more often than not, rather than the mental state. And that brings us to the 3 of Cups. So this is all about celebration, you know, really celebrating ourselves and celebrating, you know, all the skins that we have shed. You know, from this upper one, we've done a lot of work. And yeah, there's more work to be done, but, you know, we've come so far. And we're not the same person that we were even 6 months ago, or, you know, a year ago. And so we need to celebrate that. And we can find fun ways to celebrate it. You know, celebrate it with a dance party. You know, celebrate it with a barbecue. Celebrate it with a vacation. Celebrate it with a massage. Celebrate it, and it doesn't mean that, you know, that there's not a place for libation. I love that word. You know, for wine or drinks, but, you know, just but start to also look at the more wholesome ways in which you can celebrate. You know, maybe you're going to celebrate by going to the theater, you know, doing some volunteer work, or, you know, going to, you know, a festival, an outdoor festival, performing for one another. You know, make it all about, make your celebration about what's of value, you know, what has longevity, you know, what has depth to it, you know, what feeds life. And, you know, like I said, a little wine here and there is not a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but if that's your vice and that's your go-to every time you celebrate, you have to have the drugs or the alcohol, and that's your mode of celebration, then maybe do something different. Maybe have food, different cheeses, you know, maybe different crackers or different fruits. You know, if you're a person who you celebrate and it's all about, you know, the wholesome, you know, maybe have some wine. You know, maybe, you know, go ahead and have an ice cream party. And this came up in the last reading that, you know, go outside your norm. Do what's sort of opposite to how you usually operate. You know, if you're a person who's more reserved and shy, maybe be more outgoing. You know, maybe give some free hugs. You know, maybe go up and sit next to somebody who you never talked to before and ask them about their day and about their past. Really get to know somebody. If you're a person who is, you know, more maybe self-absorbed and you like to be the center of attention, you know, give the attention to someone else. Make somebody else feel special. Make them feel like the center of attention. You know, but the bottom line is having fun and really, you know, enjoying all this change that's going on. You know, so the bottom row is well, kind of like an outcome card, what's to be expected. The Wheel of Fortune. It's about having greater balance in your life. With the song I always think of is with every season, turn, turn. So having a time for rest, having a time for play, having a time for exercise, having a time for, conversation, having a time for, friendships, really being super duper vigilant about your balance in life. So you're not all in one mode. So you're not all in party mode, or you're not all in work mode, or you're not all in relationship mode, or you're not all in vacation mode. So that you're really taking the time to nurture every single part of your life. Maybe a project you can do is, make a little wheel, and in each section put the things that you value. So if one section is you value, say your partner, your husband or your wife, your loved one, your significant other, put that in one section. If your friendships, put that there. If it's nightlife, put nightlife there. If it's your work, put your work there. Adventure, vacations, what else? Stillness, that's a big one. Pampering, whatever way you like to pamper yourself. Nutrition, so fill up all your spots, and then ask yourself, am I feeding all of these pies, all of these ducats? You can even mark it off every time you do nurture that each day. Put a little star, make a little star chart, and see which one has the most stars. And if one has 10 stars, then the other has 1, then start putting your attention in the place that has 1. Don't neglect any part of your life. Again, this energy is about, is speeding up, and it's making manifest everything that you do, everything that you say, everything that you think is going to manifest triple fold. So make sure that you're attending to, every single spot on the wheel. Self-healing. I would definitely put self-healing in there. All of us, we all have baggage. We all have wounds. Don't neglect cleaning out those wounds, taking some time to kind of look at, well, what are my shadow aspects? And I'm going to jump over actually to the moon right here, because the moon talks about those shadow aspects. Don't neglect them. And a lot of you have not. It's reversed, so it reversed. For all those people out there who've been doing a lot of shadow work and really digging in the muck and digging up all your demons, you can take a little break. You can take a step back. You let life and the process of life do the rest of the healing. For those of you who haven't looked deep enough, start looking at it, because if not, it's like the boogeyman. It'll come out and haunt you at the worst time possible. Usually right when you're in the middle of accomplishing something great, all of a sudden your big scary demon will come out and go boo. So get ahead of that. Look at, what are my negative thoughts? What are my negative beliefs? How am I treating the people in my life? If you don't know where to start with your childhood core relationships. That's really the source of it all. Go through, like, what was my relationship like with my mother, my father, my brothers, my sister, my cousin? Write it down. Write down the good, write down the bad. Find out what still hurts you, what still plays upon you right now. Find ways to really nurture that inner child and bring understanding and forgiveness and awareness to that inner child. Changing bad habits, changing your behavior. So if you haven't really dug deep and looked, time to look, because it's just going to get, it's just going to come and it's going to get you in the end. You can't escape it. At some point in your life, these inner shadows, these inner demons are going to come out. So it's good to open up those doors. So right here, it's the Two of Pentacles reversed. Two of Pentacles upright is all about juggling a lot of things, especially in your work life. So now it's about simplifying. This is a big one for me. Getting, not taking on too much, slowing down, being very specific about where you give your time. Asking yourself, if I give my time to this work project, am I going to yield the results that I want? Or is it going to be just frivolous and a waste of my time? And am I just doing it because it's what I've always done? So taking stock of how, how you spend your energy in your work life, in your creative pursuits, and the ways you make money, and not juggling quite so much, taking it down a notch, being still for a bit, being contemplative, knowing that, like, if you walk away from something, the floor is not going to drop, the other shoe's not going to drop. You can sort of set it and forget it for a little bit, and let it, just like a seedling that you plant, let it grow. It'll grow on its own, you just water it once a day or maybe twice a day and then leave it alone. Knight of Pentacles, and if you follow that advice, you have the Knight of Pentacles. If you follow all of this advice, digging out your shadow and paying attention to every aspect of your life, having that balance, not juggling so much, you're going to be the Knight of Pentacles. That means, it's the knight, it's the person who has control of their financial future and their material wealth, the comforts of life. They're not quite the king, but, they're not the page. You don't have to work as hard as you think you do. You've laid the groundwork. So now you don't have to gallop. You can trot. You can look at all of you accomplished and have that gratitude for it, and be grateful and glad and revel in it a little bit more. But you're not going to get to that knight aspect if you don't balance, if you don't dig out the shadows, or if you've been digging, take a break from digging, celebrate, being grateful, getting out of your head, having some stillness, being in that abundance, but also taking time to be reflective and go within and take a step away, continuing getting rid of those toxic, those toxic patterns, remembering to be generous, remembering to give back. So when you do all of those things, and celebrate, you're going to be, the Knight of Pentacles. You're going to reap the rewards that you've been looking for. So all in all, this is a very good reading. So a lot of good stuff going on. Still a little bit of work to be done. But you're in the momentum, you're coasting, you're on cruise control. So just, keep your eyes open, for anything that might run out into the middle of the road. Be aware of the brakes, be aware of the gas, but let that energy, let that momentum carry you through. Let the flow go. Go with the flow. And thank you so much. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like a private reading, you can reach out to me at leahjoyp.com, and I believe it's listed below. I will check that out, make sure that my email address is listed there. And I could do private readings, video readings, or email readings, Skype or FaceTime readings. But of course, if you're in the Connecticut area, starting on the 13th, I'm going to be at Molten Java once a week in the afternoon, giving mini readings in Bethel. Every fourth Saturday of the month, I'm at Twin Star Apothecary in New Milford, giving private readings. You can sign up for my tarot class if you want to learn how to read the cards for yourself using your intuition. The class starts this Saturday, but we may postpone it and start it on the 16th. But reach out to me, give me your phone number and your email, and I'll keep you posted on that. You can also join my newsletter, and you'll get all my updates of where I'm going to be. And enjoy your day, and I will be talking to you again soon. All right, bye-bye. Thank you.